Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. Right, for question number one, first I multiply all term by log qx square. So when you times log xp times log qx square, you just put them together. And when you multiply 1 over log qx square with the same expression, so it becomes 1. And then 0 times log qx square becomes 0. Next, I change the base, so I change to base x. So I use the technique, so log x over log x square above q below. And then the log x square becomes 2 log xx, which is 2. And then the log x q, I bring it to the other side. So the 2 that I have just now, I have to bring it in front, so I have 2 log xp. And then I bring it above again, so it becomes p square there. So now we have log x on both sides, so you can cancel the log x. And then you take p square equals to q, so p will be square root q. Alright, question number 2. First, I change cube root b becomes b to the power of 1 over 3. And I bring over b, I bring it over, divide by b. So when you have b power 1 over 3 divided by b, you subtract the power, so 1 over 3 minus 1 becomes negative 2 over 3. Alright, now I put log on both sides, log a. So the first expression, we have log a power 2x, you can bring the 2x in front, so the log a becomes 1. Alright, the second term we have log ab power negative 2 over 3, you bring negative 2 over 3 in front. So the log ab, if you look at the information given to you, is equals to m, you substitute with the m. So we have 2x equals to negative 2 over 3m, so bring over the 2, you divide by 2. So the final answer will be negative m over 3. Alright, question number 3, we have the sum of the first n terms of AP is given as n equals to n square minus 3n. So the first question is a bit funny because find the value of n if the sum of the first terms is 70. Obviously n will be 10 because it's given in the question. So sum of the first 10 terms will be, the n will be equals to 10, so there is no effort there, so just simply n equals to 10. Right, the second question, you want to sum from the 6th term to the 10th term. So if you list your T6 until T10, so that's what you want to sum. So if you sum from all the term, from the first term until the 10th term, you get S10. But you need to subtract the term before T6, which is S5. So that's why we have S10 minus S5 will be the appropriate formula to find the sum from T6 to T10. So it's S10 minus S5. So S10 is already know, which is 70. But S5, you need to find S5 by putting 5 into your n. You have 5 square minus 3 times 5, so you get 10. So 70 minus 10 will be 60. So the answer will be 60. Alright, question number 4. The first 8 terms is T1 until T8. Given that the sum of infinity of the odd terms is 27 over 4 and the sum of infinity of the even terms is 9 over 4. Right, if you list all the terms, we have AR because using the GP formula. So and then we have AR square, AR cube, and so on. So for the odd terms, we have the first term, which is A, the third term, which is AR square, and we have the fifth term, which is AR4. So this is your GP looks like. So if you use the sum of infinity, we have A over 1 minus R square, because your R will be AR square divided by A, you get R square there. So equals to 27 over 4. So if you do for the even terms, so we have AR for this AR, and then AR cube, AR5, and so on. So if you use the sum of infinity, your first term will be AR because your first term is the AR, and then your common ratio, so if you take AR cube divided by AR, you get R square. So that's why we have AR over 1 minus R square equals to 9 over 4. Right, I substitute, first I factorize, so I have R bracket A over 1 minus R square. So I substitute my 27 over 4 into that particular expression because it's similar. So now we have R bracket 27 over 4 equals to 9 over 4. Alright, now we have 27R over 4 equals to 9 over 4. You cancel the 4, so you have 9 and you bring over the 27, so divide by 9 divided by 27, which is 1 over 3. So the final answer for the common ratio is 1 over 3. Now if you use the first expression, we have a over 1 minus r square equals to 27 over 4. You substitute your r equals to 1 over 3. So we're going to solve this. So you're going to cross multiply. So a stays. So 1 minus 1 over 3 square will be 1 minus 1 over 9, which is 8 over 9. So times with your 27 over 4, you get a equals to 6. So the final answer for the first term will be 6. So a equals to 6, the r equals to 1 over 3. Alright, question number 5. We have fx equals to negative bracket x plus 1 square plus 5. Right, if you want to find the coordinates of the maximum point, so you take the term inside the bracket, which is x plus 1, you equate with 0. You bring it over, so you have x equals to negative 1. So the plus 5 at the end there is the y value, is the y coordinates of your maximum point. So by referring to your graph, it's simply the k is equals to 5. So it's similar to the y expression, y value, so it's the k will be equals to 5. Alright, the second part, you want to find the function g, which is produced when the function fx is reflected on the y-axis. So the red marker pen shows that what you get if you reflect on the y-axis, so it's reflected that way. So we want to find the equation of the function, so it's very easy. So the one in the bracket will becomes x minus 1 because your maximum coordinate will be 1, 5. So you just change the one in the bracket only. So instead of having x plus 1, you just put x minus 1, because if you bring it over, so x minus 1 equals to 0, so x becomes 1. It's similar to your equation from the graph if you reflect about the y-axis. So the answer will be this, negative bracket x minus 1 square plus 5. Now question number 6. So this quadratic equation has real roots. So the formula that you need to use is b squared minus 4ac more or equals to 0, because it doesn't say two different roots or two equal roots, so you just say real roots. So b squared minus 4ac more or equals to 0. So first you bring over your 12x becomes negative 12x because it's, you bring it over. So you pull out your a, b and c value, which is your b is negative 12, your a m plus 3, your c 3m. Notice that I put my c first because it's easier when you have a smaller term. You times 4 times 2 first, and then you times the other bracket which has 2 terms. So you open the bracket there, so make sure it's similar to my expression. So we have 144 minus 8m square minus 24m more or equals to 0. But because my m square has a negative sign and also it has a very huge number, we're going to simplify the expression by dividing by 8 and flip the sign. So everything will be flipped, including all the signs. So you will get m square plus 3m minus 18 less or equals to 0. And then we're going to factorize to find the two roots. So you will have m plus 6 bracket m minus 3, and then less than or equals to 0. You have to sketch the graph because it has one mark. And then you're gonna put negative 6 on the left side, the 3 on the right side. So because it's less, it's below. So the final answer will be negative 6 less or equals to m less or equals to 3. So the m lies between negative 6 and 3. Right, question number 7, we have two graphs. The first graph we have the y-intercept equals to 2, and the second graph we have the y-intercept 2p minus q. Right, if you take the original equation y equals to 3x cubed plus px, you divide by x, you get the first graph. So y over x, and then 3x squared over x becomes 3x cubed over x becomes 3x squared. Px over x becomes p. So that means your y-intercept is the last term, which is p equals to 2, because based on the graph. So you get your p answer straight away, which is p equals to 2. Very easy. And next you want to find the value of q. So the original equation, the y equals to 3x cubed plus px, you have to divide by x cubed. So y over x cubed is y over x cubed, obviously. So 3x cubed over x cubed will be 3, but I put it at the back because that is our c. So my px over x cubed will give me p over x squared, because it's cancelled the x above, so you got only x squared below. So now the y-intercept for this, because it's given from the question, so it's 2p minus q, you equate with 3, but your p value is already given, which is p equals to 2. I mean, it's already found, which is p equals to 2. So you have 2 times 2 minus q equals to 3, so bring over negative q to the other side, so you have 4 minus 3, so you get q equals to 1. So the answer is q equals to 1, p equals to 2. Next, we have question number 8. So if you look at question number 8, from the question given to you, if the range for the domain is negative 3 until m over 2, so the m over 2 you can mark on the graph, which is there, so m over 2 will be equals to 5. So the m over 2 is the y value, so it's equals to the coordinate value on the right side, which is the 5. So just equate both of them, you get m over 2 equals to 5, so the m will be equals to 10. So we're done with the first part. Okay, to find the second equation, so you want to find g inverse, but first you want to find the g first. This is simply a straight line, so if you use y equals mx plus c, you find the gradient first. So the first coordinate, negative 3, so if you write it in coordinate form, which is 0, negative 3, the second coordinate we get to 5, so you find the gradient first. So 5 minus negative 3 becomes 8, 2 minus 0 becomes 2, so 8 divided by 2 gives you 4. So the y-intercept is down there, which is negative 3. By putting into your y equals mx plus c, the y will be gx, the m will be 4, so 4x, and then minus 3 because of the y-intercept. So now if you look at my previous video how to find g inverse using shortcut, so imagine you have x in your brain, imaginary x, so you bring over negative 3 to the other side, becomes plus 3, and then you divide by 4, so this is the g inverse. So I'm using the shortcut method to find the g inverse, so this is how we find the answer. Alright, question number 9, we have to find the value of n, but if you look at your fraction, we have m over 3x minus 3x minus n, so x is not equals to 1 over 3. So first we're gonna equate the 3x minus n equals to 0, because for any fraction, if the below part is equals to 0, it's not valid, so we're gonna put equals to 0 first. Well, the x value will be equals to 1 over 3, so you have to remove the not equal, just put on 1 over 3 to find the n. So 3 times 1 over 3 becomes 1, so bring over negative n becomes n, so n will be equals to 1, so it's very easy. Alright, the second question, we want to find the value of m. So if you put everything into your equation, so we have 3f negative 1, so the x value will be negative 1, so we have m over 3 times negative 1 minus 1, because the n you have to use the previous answer, which is 1, and then plus f1, so f1 will be m over 3 times 1, which is 3, minus 1. So we're gonna simplify, so the below part for the first fraction we have m over negative 3 minus 1 will be negative 4, so it becomes 3m over negative 4. The second fraction we have m over 3 minus 1, which is 2, so m over 2. Alright, you can use your calculator. Negative 3 over 4 plus 1 over 2 will give you negative 1 over 4. You simplify, so you get negative m over 4 there, equals to negative 1. So you can find the value, you cross multiply, cancel the negative, so m will be equals to 4. Finally, the last question. This is HOTS question for statistics. So diagram 4 shows an overview of the theme park containing various games. So the entrance fee is 45 ringgit. So a visitor have to pay additional fee to play for each game. So the average money spent by 60 visitors shows an unreasonable value, which is 25 ringgit, which is quite low. So the review found that the park counter staff has made a mistake by deducting the additional fee from your entrance fee for the 60 visitors. So we're going to find the real average spent by the 60 visitors. Right, to be honest, I was thinking quite a long time to answer this question. So this is how I thought it should be. So the final answer is 65 ringgit. So imagine that you have to pay for a top-up card, so you put 25 ringgit into your entrance fee or something like that. So after you play the games, you have spent like 25 ringgit only based what you have top up. So yeah, you have actually have 20 ringgit left in your wallet, something like that. So what we do is we're gonna times the original price, which is 60 times 45 ringgit. So this is for the entrance fee alone, which is 2,700. Right, the remaining 20 ringgit is what is left. So we have to cover up for this because it's I don't know. We just do this. So 60 times 20, you get 1,200. So if you add these two values, so we have 2,700 plus 1,200, you get 3,900. This is what they have to spend. So an average, if you divide 3,900 divided by 60, so the answer is 65 ringgit. But to be honest, I'm not sure what is the better explanation for this. So I hope that you can find a better explanation for this by finding the answer to be 65 ringgit. So I wish you all the best. If you have a better solution, just text me and WhatsApp me, and then let me know. So thank you for your attention and take care. Goodbye.